My name's Natalie Sheppard and I'm Director of Education for Portsmouth Thinking Schools Academy Trust. And I really want to share with you today some of my thoughts around how Portsmouth is changing, society is changing, and how I believe education needs to respond to those changes. So really my first point on that is that technology has created a monumental shift in how we live. Mobile and wearable technologies are absolutely everywhere. They're in every single industry and they affect everyone's lives. Now we spend more time looking at screens than we do at anything else. Worldwide management consulting firms have said that a fourth industrial revolution is underway and that by 2030 technology will be even more pervasive, jobs will be more fluid, and actually the labour market will be highly competitive. And particularly at risk will be people in low-skilled jobs. We know the rise of artificial intelligence is taking many of jobs that people used to do. Automation is taking, I think they're saying that within the next 10 to 15 years, about 30% of the hours worked globally will be taken over and done automatically. Even in the field of law, artificial intelligence is taking roles there that people would have done. So there's some major shifts happening, and I feel that for Portsmouth, our children are particularly at risk, really of a new type of exclusion, a digital exclusion. It's not that their lives aren't imbued with technology. They're absolutely addicted to technology, of course, and in lots of ways, a very unhealthy addiction. And, we are familiar with the dark web, aren't we? And the dark side of social media and the impact of that on mental health. So what I believe we need to do is we need to get on the front foot with technology, and we need to teach our young people to own the technology rather than it to own them. There's a fantastic book by Harari came out in 2018 around 21 lessons for the 21st century. And in that he talks about how we are hacked nowadays as human beings, and we can live our lives very comfortably with the algorithms determining everything that we should do. But actually what we really need to do is to learn to run faster than the algorithms, know ourselves better than they do. And I think education is really at risk in that respect, because education has always been about freedom, about teaching people to think for themselves. Surely that's the real purpose of education, is being able to deal critically with the world so you can participate in its transformation. We should be raising young people that have got the skills they need to cope and work through difficult problems. And there's a different set of skills that are needed for that. Whilst knowledge is the foundation of everything, knowledge is power, and we need to be communicating those bodies of knowledge to children. We also need to layer other skills over the top, skills of problem solving, leadership, collaboration. And ever since I've worked in Portsmouth, which is 7 years this year as a head teacher, whenever we've asked employers what are the skills that our young people don't have, it's those sorts of skills that come back from them. It's leadership and management. We've got a particular shortage of young people that have skills in science, technology, engineering and maths. And yet these are the growth industries within Portsmouth. Construction, digital space, creative and culture and industries. I myself live down in Southsea on the same road as John Lewis, which you're probably familiar with, has closed and is becoming flexible workspace is what it's becoming. In the future people will be able to work anytime, anywhere, as collaboration via technology becomes even more part of our lives. Within Thinking Schools Academy Trust, we are arranged in 4 different geographical areas. We now collaborate via video link up, via Microsoft Office, a product they've got called Teams, which has really revolutionised our teachers being able to connect across different areas and collaborate, and leaders working together. So that is how people are working now. And yet our classrooms are still very, very traditional. You know, teacher at the front, children, you know, sat quite often in rows, you know, looking at the teacher. Getting that interactivity and that dynamic workspace. You know, our children can multitask. You've only got to watch them on their phone and watching TV and having a conversation to know that. They are Generation Z. They are very different. And I think that they want to learn differently. So I'm very interested in digital transformation within schools. There's some fantastic work going on out there. The Education Foundation have just released their EdTech 50 document, which is case studies of 50 schools that are using educational technology really well. And we've got some trials around that going on in some of our schools here. And we've really been partnering with Portsmouth College, and we've seen a real change in outcomes for children at Portsmouth College. Portsmouth schools, there's a new phrase that you know, we're stuck. We've got stuck schools. You know, we've got really good schools, fantastic in terms of inclusion. But the academic progress and achievement is not so clear. So, you know, can the technology, giving children better access to technology, virtual classrooms, etc., bring about a transformation in their ability to work independently, to work collaboratively, and I think to engage families in what they're doing in school. And you think about the power of a young person who's made a video about something they're really passionate about, and they're able to go home and pull that down from the cloud and show that really easily to their parent, to connect their parent in with what school is about and the relevance of school and the relevance of curriculum. And I think it's more important than ever to make sure that school is and feels relevant to young people. And to do that, we have to look at how society is changing. We have to move with society. Schools have always had to do that, and it feels ever the more important to do that now. As an island city, I think Portsmouth has always had family and community at its heart. I really enjoyed growing up here and the access to the open spaces of the seafront and the common. And I think those feelings around strong identity and being proud of Portsmouth, you know, the Love Southsea movement, for example, you know, people are proud to live here. People are proud to be Portsmouth. I've got a hashtag proud to be TSAT Portsmouth, and we put a lot out via our Twitter accounts to really celebrate the fantastic work that our children are doing, and the fantastic work that the people that work with them and the wider community are doing as well. And I think that spirit of celebration is something that Portsmouth does extremely well, including the Teach Portsmouth Awards, which have been going for a couple of years now, that really bring the educational world together to celebrate what we're doing here, and we should feel really proud of it. And also, I think, you know, we've got the capacity here and the strength to look to the future and be able to do something that can really change our young people's lives.